Really quick, you're gonna have to stop and read these messages, but I just wanted to show you that this is just another example of, not only could we could not talk to each other outside of the program, but we can't even give each other advice. I mean, we were just discouraged. I mean, she would get on her case if we even offered advice here. I mean, here's example of somebody asking, "Can you please pray for me?" She went into how everything's intensifying with her husband, and somebody gives her advice, says, "Don't fear it. God already has already worked it all out." And the girl just says she's tired of crying and everything. So, the girl gives her good advice and says, I pray on it first, but if you feel like you need to go home, then go home. And then here comes in Shawnna. Here she comes. I disagree. Her place is with her husband, not with her mom and dad. Weren't you supposed to go live with your schedule to go live with your husband? What happened? And so she had to tell her, that her husband didn't want her there because they were fighting. So, that's besides the point. The point is here it is where we felt like, I mean, we were just not, it is not okay for us to give advice to our own brothers and sisters. It's ridiculous. She says that, um, I agree with Shawnna. Where is it? I agree with Shawnna. I now realize we can't offer advice in this group. Only prayers and support for each other. She is our mentor, and we need to let her give the advice, and she knows everyone's full story. No, she does not know everybody's full story. No, she does not. I repent and apologize, but will definitely pray. And here comes Shawnna. I didn't say you couldn't offer advice. I just said be careful, to make sure you know the full story. Well, you didn't know the full story either, and you still gave her advice, but that's okay, right, Shawnna? And here's the girl saying, just, I mean, feeling bad and embarrassed about giving her advice. She says, exactly, I understand. And since we don't, most of the time we don't know the full story, it is just safer not to offer advice just in case. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Look at how she makes us feel. Embarrasses us, makes us feel like we cannot give advice to anybody. Only her advice is the right advice, and we're so stupid that we can't give somebody advice properly. This damn woman is a psycho, psycho, and has a control issue. Narcissist is what she is. And we're done. We're done. We're done. We're showing who you really are now. Everybody is going to see who you really are behind that pulpit, behind closed doors. We're showing who you really are. The psycho, the narcissist, the controlling witch that you are. That's what we're showing. We're done. We're done. Okay. So just, the reason why this was so upsetting is because, see, we were put into groups. We've been in groups for, I don't even know, it's been a year and a half. So we've been put into groups to like 10, 11, I don't 11 of us. So we talk to each other. We were in this group, we were in this text group. We talk to each other daily. So we know each other's lives pretty well. And I want to say even better than her, because she didn't talk, she wasn't paying attention every time to everything that we said. There was stuff she missed, and, she didn't know some of the stuff. She didn't know. It was too much to keep up with. She had what? She had team A, B, C, D. She had 4 teams, and each team had, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, 10 people in them. Maybe an average of 10 people in them. It's too much to be able to keep track of. But us in our group, we talked to each other, we prayed with each other, we knew each other's stories. So yes, we qualified. We qualified to be able to tell each other, to give each other advice. This is what we were supposed to do. This is what the Bible says we are supposed to be doing, to be, giving each other advice, to be praying for each other. We got words for each other. And this, she just made it very difficult for us to do that, or made us feel like we shouldn't be doing it. Even more than that, it was like just the way that she spoke to us. There was no love, no compassion, no concern for the other person. There was no gentleness, no love, no nothing. She was very, very, I mean, hard and just, I mean, I don't even know what word to use for her. She was just very condemning and shaming when she talked. It was that's how she talked to us. And for everything. And even when simple things that she would tell us, because first we had our own little we had our own little picture. We had our own of our group of the people that we were praying for that were in our group. So we created our own little wall with the pictures of the people that were in her group. And at first she was fine with it. The other we got the idea from another group, and then all of a sudden she didn't want us doing it anymore because somebody had left, and I don't know, she was calling this person a witch or whatever, like she likes to do. So she was scared about who had the pictures, so she didn't want us doing that anymore. But the way that she went about it and told us, it was like there will be no more doing this, like as if we were doing something wrong when we weren't. She knew all along we were doing this, but it's the way that she would talk to us and tell us these things. It's like, okay, you don't have to say it. You don't have to be so rude when you say these things. You really don't. I mean, watch your tone. But it was like everything that was said to us, it was in that way. Everything was that way. And you know what? I'm not a soft person, or I'm not somebody who gets my feelings hurt very easy. But she was rude. She was rude, very rude. How she talked to us, and we didn't deserve that. We didn't deserve that. We were her sheep. We're supposed to be her sheep. She didn't need to talk to us that way. We were very, very respectful to her. Very respectful to her. Why couldn't we get that back? We never got it back. We were talked to. We were like, I mean, we were put down when we were talked to. Like we were beneath her. It was always that way. Always. So, and another thing that was bad was, there's certain things that, okay, yeah, we all share, but then there's sometimes when I would get a word from somebody and it didn't seem right for me to tell them on the, in front of everybody. So I would text them privately, and I wasn't the only one that did it. Okay. So don't just get on me. I wasn't the only one that did it, but I would tell them privately because I didn't think it was something that needed to be outed in front of everybody. I don't, I'm not, that's for them to say, not for me to say. But if I have a word from the Lord, I'm going to tell them in private, not in front of everybody, if it was something more personal. And I'm sorry that you don't like that, but I'm sorry. I'm not going to be like you. You know, sometimes you need to pull people aside and have private conversations with them. Have some respect for their privacy. If they want to decide to tell everybody in the group, then fine, let them do it. Okay, not you. But yeah, she didn't like that. We couldn't do that. We weren't supposed to private message anybody. Still did it, but we weren't supposed to. And no, I wasn't the only one. Because we respected each other's privacy, and there were some things that didn't need to be said in front of the whole group. I just want you to understand the character of this lady. I mean, anytime somebody left, too, I mean, it was always drama when somebody left. Something huge they did really bad, and that's why we had to stay away from them and not talk to them at all. We needed to cut all ties with them now, and God forbid we did it. But I mean, it was always drama with this lady. I mean, look, I mean, she would talk about the person every time she left, and that's not right. I can understand you talking to your mentor about the situation, that's fine. But to bring in the whole congregation or the whole everybody and to be talking about them, that's not okay. And she did this to every single person that left, everyone. And I think I got it the worst. I mean, there were some that she did pretty dirty, you know. There was a couple that she said that they were on drugs, that, and don't talk to them. And another one that, her pastor, her the children's pastor, he was drinking. He was drinking. He was talking about her, and just really bad stuff. But I think I got it the worst. I got a whole hour. I got a whole hour dedicated to me. I got a whole hour dedicated to me. She called an emergency Zoom meeting to slander me for a whole hour. A whole hour. Does that sound right? Does that sound, I'm sorry, but I've never heard of a church, of a pastor calling an emergency meeting to slander somebody and lie about them for a whole hour with absolutely no proof whatsoever. None. None. And I will eventually get to that. Because like I said, I was sent that whole hour Zoom meeting because she thought it was appropriate to post that slander meeting inside of their fellowship page, Facebook page. Yeah, she thought that was the right thing to do. Yeah. So yes, it got sent to me immediately from people that were still in the program, and she thought I wasn't going to see it, so she thought she wasn't going to be called out on any of her lies. But you were caught. God had finally had it with you because you had done this for 2 years. What? How many times? I mean, I spoke to what, over the course of me doing this, I think I spoke to 11, 12 people personally, and you did the same thing to them. So yeah, this isn't right. This isn't something a pastor or a mentor or a teacher, that is not something, that is not appropriate for you to do on any level. No, it's not a teaching moment. No, it's not a need to know meeting. No, it was pure gossip. It was a gossip session. That's what that was. That's all it was. And all of you that sat there and listened to it, you were compliant and you will be held accountable, because silence is consent. Just like Shawnna likes to say, silence is consent. When she does stuff like that, you all need to get off the phone with her. You all need to get off the Zoom with her when she starts to do that. And I'm hoping after you see all this, you're gonna end up doing the right thing and leaving, because this woman should be nowhere mentoring anybody. But yeah, you got to stop being compliant. You need to stop gossiping with her. You need to stop lying for her when you're not saying anything. When she's telling a story and she's exaggerating it, and you know darn well that it didn't happen that way. Yes, that's still you, still consenting, because you're not stopping it. You're allowing her and you're agreeing with her. Yes, when you nod your head and she's going to you, right, Sandy, right, Michelle, right, when it's ridiculous. Stop lying for her. Stop. Her stories change. Her God stories change. The things that she went through change. I mean, the details change. I mean, God, I wish I had videos of some of the things. I wish I had time to go through it all, but I don't. But yes, her stories change. They change, because I believe they're lies. The details change. That's how you know when somebody's lying. But anyways, let's continue.